Good morning. This is Einstein Group Incorporated, and this is our milestone number 4 project proposal. And this is for our autonomous RC car. Now, my name is Joshua Williams. I am the group leader and also the software developer.
My name is Tristan Youngblood, and I'm the systems engineer.
My name is Henry Funny. I'm the digital hardware designer.
Hi, my name is Orion Patterson. I'm the analog designer. Introduction. Today we come before you today to present to you our senior project. During the video, we will present our proposal of an anonymous RC car. We will present to you its features, capabilities, and why the world is ready for this future and self-aware technology. Just to give you a brief definition of an autonomous car, it is a driverless car, self-driving car. An autonomous car is capable of fulfilling the human transportation capabilities of a traditional car. It is capable of sensing the environment and navigating without human input. Mainly, autonomous cars are more just for prototypes and demonstration, but now it is here, and now it's for the future, and now it's the front forward of the future of technology. We wanted to give you a brief example of our RC car in the real world. Google car. An anonymous vehicle senses their surroundings with such techniques as radar, GPS, LiDAR, and computer vision. More advanced control systems interpret sensor information to identify appropriate navigation paths, and also to operate through obstacles. Some autonomous vehicles update itself based on the sensory input, allowing the vehicle to keep track of the position even when the conditions change or when they enter uncharted environments. Depending on your point of view, anonymous cars either are long overdue or the technology to be avoided at all costs. We see both sides of the argument as for the proposers, but a recent patent secured by the tech giant Google may mean the best of both worlds. U.S. patent 8,780,349 describes a vehicle that can switch from regular human operating system to a autonomous mode at a push of a button. First, the operator needs to direct the machine to a predefined landing strip or a predefined GPS position where the indicator coordinates to allow the vehicle to know the exact location of that vehicle of that position, and then take that human to that position.
A number of car companies are currently working on their version of the autonomous vehicle. In the year 2014, Mercedes, Volvo, and BMW will all have their version of the vehicle out for the public. Nissan plans on releasing theirs in 2020. A number of different methods are being used to compile the data from the environment and from other vehicles on the road, from lasers, onboard sensors, and other methods are being used to put this car together. The main thing keeping these cars off the road is actually the user himself. Many men, they fear that the computers inside such a vehicle can be compromised from an outside force. While that seems very science fiction in nature, it's a very real possibility when you think about it. Many things are being done to prevent such, I guess you would call them, attacks from outside forces. to prevent widespread panic and to calm the consumer, because those are the ones who have to buy the vehicle. Another main issue is, of course, the cost. In today's economy, many things factor into the purchase of a new vehicle or home or whatever. So keeping the price low but user or consumer interest high is very important. In 2012, J.D. Power and Associates did a survey upon 17,400 consumers, 37% of which said they were interested or prepared to want to buy an autonomous vehicle in the coming years. That number quickly dropped to 20% when they were told that it would cost at least $3,000 to have that type of technology in their vehicle. The user or the consumer these days, they need a car, an autonomous vehicle that doesn't require human user input at all and still being cost friendly for today's economy. Objective statement. This RC car will serve as a model for future versions of the autonomous vehicle that doesn't require much user input or little to no user input at all, while still being able to detect obstacles in its path and either slow down or drive around them. And this will all be programmed from a user input, user-friendly MATLAB or C+ program.
Marketing requirement and engineering requirements. Marketing requirements. Marketing requirements are the customer's needs for the project that the group is creating for the customer. Engineering requirements. Engineering requirements are the short statements that tell the technical needs of the design. Establishing these statements ensure that all the customer needs are satisfied and helps with the developing of the design to be safe for the customer. Now, through marketing requirements and engineering requirements, we created an objective tree. In this objective tree, we put together the marketing requirements and engineering requirements, and in a tree where we base the marketing requirements, we have 6 major, and supporting engineering requirements for those 6 marketing requirements. Here, for the marketing requirements, we have ability, sensor technology, simplicity, reliability, design, user-friendly. For the ability, we have one of the engineering requirements was self-aware. We needed the car to be self-aware because that's basically what the autonomous car is. It's being self-aware. Sensor technology. Sensor technology is basic for, we had blind spots for being the engineering requirement. Blind spots for a sensor technology is very important, so that the car isn't getting into crashes and is knowing of its surroundings. Simplicity. Low cost is one of the most important reasons of our RC car. Engineering required for our RC car. If no one would buy our car, our proposal is a failure. Reliability. Extensive testing. That engineering requirement is very important as well, because if the car is default and it will not be able to Alright, gonna cut that part out. Reliability. Extensive testing is the engineering requirement from that, and it is for testing the product time and time over again, so that there's no defaults, no electrical or computer error. Design wireless controls. This device can be controlled through Bluetooth, laptop, or wireless device. User-friendly. Simple programming environment is a engineering requirement for user-friendly. This being from the youngest of ages to the oldest of ages can input into a GUI screen input and be able to control the device.
The block diagram. So the block diagram basically represents the system at which is being represented of the product that we're working with. So in this first part of the slide, I'm going to show basically two levels for the block diagram. The level 0, which is the most basic part of the system, and the level 1, which is a little bit more advanced version of the level 0. Now the level 0 right here represents basically the system as a whole, which has basically 2 inputs and 1 output. Now, for the 2 inputs, it is the 5-volt power supply, it's a DC power supply, and the motion controller, which basically represents the signal communication between the laptop and the autonomous RC car system. Now, these 2 inputs are going to come together and create an output into the 6-volt DC motors, which I will explain more in depth on the next slide for the level 1 block diagram. So for the level 1 block diagram, this goes more into depth of what is going on in our system for our RC car. So as you can see, instead of just seeing one large block, you see 3 different blocks that represent what's going on inside the system. Now, for the first block, I'm going to talk about the power supply. The power supply represents the rechargeable batteries that is going to be inside the system. Now, these batteries are DC, represent DC voltages, and they're going to carry up to 5 volts within them. Now, from this power supply, it's going to go into either the Wi-Fi transceiver or the DC motor controller. This is going to be used to help power up these units so that they can run and send out their signals that are going into the other parts of the system. Now, for the Wi-Fi transceiver, basically what's going into this system is the power and the motion controller that's going to come from either a MATLAB program or a C++ program. Now, this Wi-Fi transceiver is going to basically receive the signal that's going to communicate from the laptop into it, and from there, it's going to basically output what's coming out from the Wi-Fi, from the MATLAB program into the DC motor controller. From there, the DC motor controller is going to take that signal and either send a signal to the DC motor switch, which will make it go forward or backwards or left or right. From there, this should allow you to control the car. And from that point on, when you combine all the signals all the inputs and outputs and the many systems that are going on inside the huge system as a whole, you will have your autonomous RC car.
Industry involvement. We of Einstein Group Incorporated plan on using the many autonomous vehicle resources as well as having direct involvement from the industry in order to successfully complete our own autonomous vehicle. Specifically, the involvement from the industry will be in the areas of how and who to market the product to, what does the vehicle have to specifically be capable of doing successfully, and how does it make life simpler. A major concern in our current society is safety. One solution that many engineers are researching to make one aspect of life safety is by eliminating human-operated error. I'm sure by now that most of you have heard a little bit about Google and their testing of their unmanned vehicle. But I also like to note that by the year 2016, most major car companies plan on releasing their own versions of autonomous vehicles. Seeing this, EGI realizes that autonomous vehicles are the next big thing, but they also will not be the only big thing in the near future.
From our time of working on this project and this proposal, we have used multiple different type of resources to help ourselves out and to allow us to be able to make a product that can fulfill the consumer's needs while at the same time fulfill the needs that the engineers ourselves are trying to present to the customer. Now, from these resources, we use books from our classes in electronics and microprocessors. Also, we use books related to our class in scene design, which allowed us to basically fulfill what is required when you want to make a proposal on a product that you're working on, and learn things such as how to set up a tree and different weights to what is important to the customer and the engineer at the same time. And also, we, from using our previous course books, we basically used our own prior knowledge on how to approach this assignment and how to basically, per se, engineer what is needed to be made. And that is what we used and put together as our reference in completing this proposal. Okay. We believe that the autonomous car is the future of society. The technology is here, the engineers are ready, and the public has a need for a safe, efficient, eco-friendly, financially acceptable, and self-aware car. We are here at EGI, we are here to fulfill the customer's needs. And if you are on board with us, we are ready to progress on to the next level of technology. Thank you.